Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Not just any news, the random news extravaganza. We're just going to go through a bunch of random little things that came up that I find interesting.
Well, if you find it interesting, then...
First up, we know that the Disney Gallery, Mandalorian Season 3, is coming on June 28th, which will have behind-the-scenes tidbits and facts that only a Thor Skywalker could love.
What does that mean? I'm sure plenty of people are going to love it.
Yeah.
No, they're interesting.
They are interesting. I'm being
I know you're being
facetious or something.
Or something, yes.
Or something.
No, I find them enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to find this one, I'm sure, enjoyable.
Not that you're going to be watching it going, why?
No,
Tell me why.
Well, the thing is, they're not going to show like the problems, right? I'm not
they
implying...
may explain some of their decision making.
Yes, that's the interesting, or what they claim their decision making process is. Mm-hmm. Again, I know conspiracy, but I'm of the mindset that this season is kind of a hodgepodge of many different issues coming up, and
which they might tell you some of the reasoning why behind certain episodes or the order or why it was chopped up the way it was. Sometimes they give you an insight as to things.
Maybe, but I don't think
they're
going to...
But they won't spin it in a bad light.
No, I don't think they're going to come out and say, well, Gina Carano got fired, so our Rangers of the New Republic project got scrapped. So we took some of those ideas and put them into this season. And then Disney said, hey, can you put Grogu back in there? We want to sell some toys. And yeah, I don't think they're going to talk about that.
No, they may not word it that way, but maybe if you listen hard enough.
Maybe they'll wink at the camera. And we know. We know you know. Mm-hmm. But no, I have no idea. I'm sure it's going to be exciting. It's always interesting to kind of hear their mindsets and why they did this or that. And we're not going to get the 100% true story, of course.
Next, we've got some Mandalorian news, because like I said, we're just going through some interesting things. Remember we covered the interview with the actor who plays Carson Teva?
Yes.
Ranger of the New Republic? Marshal Teva?
I think he had a bigger role to play too, or might eventually in a different show. Who knows? We'll see.
In the interview that we saw with him, he said Season 4 of The Mandalorian hasn't officially been greenlit by Disney yet as putting it into motion. But now there's rumors coming all over the internet saying that the strike, the writer's strike, is delaying the production of Season 4. Yes.
So it's not written, but I thought Favreau...
Well, there's rumors now that I've been reading from across many, many places that Season 4 is actually supposed to start production and all that good stuff in October.
Okay, that's relatively soon.
Relatively. But they're saying now that this writer's strike could delay everything. But then I found counter articles. Because there's always, when there's a rumor, there's the anti-rumor.
Yes.
Which the anti-rumors are saying, well, the scripts are already written. They're not going to affect the writer's strike, that Disney's already had been planning for it, which we do know that they had been planning for.
We heard Favreau say he had it written or was writing it. And
he said it was done, it was written. So he's at least got like the scripts, the first iteration, maybe the final cuts, who knows exactly.
Yeah, and as you said, I'm sure Disney knew the writer's strike was a potential or possibility.
Well, they're one of the studios that was building out in advance so they wouldn't dry up of content in case something like this happened again, like it did years ago, where all of a sudden all of these series got chopped up. So Disney decided in that wake that they try to plan content out for their streaming service further in advance. I mean, look how far out Marvel is.
Marvel's always like 10 years ahead.
It feels
they're
like
writing
it, right?
Like phase 8 behind closed doors right now. Not saying it's great, but they're writing
think about it. We've already got, like, next year's docket is The Acolyte and Andor. Acolyte should be just about done with all of their filming and stuff. They should be getting close.
Bad
if
Batch
they're not done
season
already.
3 as well.
Yes, which was already written beforehand because they wrote it while they were writing the last season.
Good.
And we have the Andor season 2, which Tony Gilroy finished those scripts already as well.
But then they stopped production anyway because
they didn't stop production. He's just not allowed on set.
I thought they said production was stopped now. Didn't I read that?
So Tony Gilroy actually stepped away from producing on the show because he is not just the writer, he is a producer. His contract with Disney said he had to do his production work anyway, even with the strike going on, but he was getting called a scab and everything, so now he's walked away from that as well. The show is continuing. Diego Luna is also a producer on the show, and they're continuing on. So, I mean, 2 of the big projects of next year are not currently suffering any drawbacks. As long as they can keep moving forward or the strike ends in good time, Disney Plus designed themselves in a way that they won't lose content at least from Lucasfilm.
Yeah, we'll see.
We shall see. Next up, there's another rumor floating around about the Dave Filoni movie, that it will be called heir to the Empire.
Not a chance.
No, I don't believe it, not even for a second.
Nope. There's absolutely no way it'll be called that.
For one, they referred to Thrawn as heir to the Empire in the trailer for Ahsoka.
Yes, that was a little wink and a nod to the people who love the book.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more, nothing less. And the fact that, yes, Thrawn's going to be
the
heir to the Empire in this time period, as he has basically said recently.
I mean, interestingly, we have no idea what his movie's actually going to be about. For all we know, Thrawn may not even be in the movie. Ahsoka might just deal with him in the show.
Nah, he said Thrawn's going to be the big bad guy of the era.
Of the era, yes.
Which I hope means antagonist, not necessarily quote-unquote big bad guy.
Mustache-twirling villain.
He's not a bad guy.
No.
He's
no
misunderstood.
Villain. Just like Thanos.
He's not really, I mean, he has his own story, which we've talked about before. I don't want them. I hope they do not ignore what Timothy Zahn has done with the two new Thrawn trilogies in the new canon.
But as to why I don't think that movie will be named that, aside from them using it as a teaser drop in the trailer, is because it's kind of a bait and switch type maneuver. If you make that movie and you call it Heir to the Empire, everyone who's read Heir to the Empire is going to be like, is it going to be like a recreation of this? And they're going to be really excited. And they're going to get there and be extremely disappointed, which could in turn make people angry.
Well, I mean, it really can't be a recreation of that. I'm fine with, again, him saying that in the trailer, them saying that in the trailer. Ahsoka says it, I believe.
Yes.
I'm remembering right. That's fine. Give it a little wink and a nod. Like I said, you want to recognize that book, the importance it was to kind of launching the EU in a sort of way, or making it more popular. It didn't really launch the EU.
Not to mention, Thrawn's entire character and popularity is from this EU series and books, and then Filoni honored that by bringing it in.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, but calling it that is kind of the wrong message, I think, because for one, you're not going to recreate everything. You're not going to have all the characters. You're not going to have the same.
It can't honestly be the exact same as the book.
No, it literally can't be at this point.
So just poaching its title seems shallow.
Yeah, I understand you would probably do it to try to honor it, but you don't need to do that. I don't want you to do that. As someone who loves that book, please don't do that.
I think it's a shallow decision. I think it's the wrong decision.
And I don't think it is his decision. I don't think he would call it that. And
no, I think somebody out there made that little rumor up, and now it's circulating like wildfire, or could even be Disney testing the waters, because come on, they do it. They throw rumors out and counter rumors to see which one gains more positive reactions.
Absolutely. There's no doubt that they leak things from time to time just to see reaction and see how people respond, if they like it or don't like it, and then they adjust accordingly.
I would.
Yeah.
It's clever marketing.
Yeah. Or they just listen to the rumors that people make up and see what people have to say.
Some of these industry insiders you hear from, I feel like some of them are definitely plants.
I don't know about plants as much as they're patsies. I mean, I don't. Maybe I shouldn't use that word exactly, but
so they're just like a secret source.
Well, not that they're even a secret source, but I mean, they probably hear things that they're meant to hear, and they don't even realize that they're being kind of used to spread the information.
Very well could be.
And sometimes they get things right, so then of course that lends credibility to them. So that means people are going to listen when they say something. So every now and then you do have to toss them a bone and give them real information, right?
Or the information becomes real depending on how it's received.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they might put out a rumor. Everybody seems to love it. They go with the rumor. That person was quote unquote right, and now they're credible. So the next time they put out a rumor, that means people are going to listen. They're going to react, and then Disney or Lucasfilm can be adjusting to that if they need be. If it's not a popular rumor, no, I'm sure that happens. Why wouldn't it?
It makes perfect sense. All right, let's move on to the next little tidbits we got going on here. We got some release dates today for Disney Plus. Some release dates for Marvel projects, which are interesting. I mean, we know coming out June 21st, we have Secret Invasion, and that's going to run 6 episodes. So by July 26th, it'll be finished, right?
Yep. We know Ahsoka is coming in August.
Yes, Ahsoka is coming in August. October 6th, which is a Friday, begins Loki Season 2. And then in November 29th starts Echo.
Well, I think the interesting ones for Ahsoka are when Secret Invasion ends and when Loki begins. There's about a 9-week window in there. Right, which is where you'd want an 8-episode show. Perfect time for an 8-episode Ahsoka series, yeah. So maybe first or second week of August seems to be a likely launch date. Key. The very latest you can go without overlapping Loki would be the 16th, because Loki is coming out on a Friday. Well, that could be... You could have, that Wednesday be the final episode of... Well, we don't even know that they're going to hold a Wednesday. Maybe they'll go back to Fridays with... No, because they're putting Echo back on Wednesday. Oh, so why Loki? Why looking at Friday? I don't know. It's like they're giving him a Friday, and then they'll probably have him come Wednesday next week. So maybe Ahsoka will be on that Wednesday. Maybe the final episode of Ahsoka is on that Wednesday leading into Loki, and they
they very well could have moved Loki out of the way of Ahsoka because they didn't want those two things to overlap, because Ahsoka should be a huge finale for Disney Plus.
Yeah, should be.
Should be.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, I don't think it's going to do Mandalorian numbers.
So our prediction, you're going to get Ahsoka starting either the 2nd, 9th, or 16th. I'm going to bank on the 9th or 16th.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll put it the very first.
No, I think it's going to be early. Yeah, there'll probably be a week gap, and then the 9th.
Yeah. But what a great end of the year we're going to have.
It's going to be jam-packed if you're a Marvel and Star Wars fan. Because we also got Skeleton Crew, right?
We've got so much coming.
Somehow fitting into the...
Starting up in June, we're going to be like non-stop, because we'll have Secret Invasion leading into Ahsoka. Boom, then there's Loki. And then we'll have Echo and Skeleton Crew, which are most likely going to overlap.
That I can see overlapping, because I don't think either one of them has the name recognition alone, so you might want to have them both going on. You're checking out Disney Plus, you're seeing the other stuff on there.
Theoretically, Skeleton Crew could actually overlap Loki.
It could. I mean, I think that would make a lot of sense to have like the last episode of Loki overlap the Skeleton Crew.
Or it'll be Loki ends, Skeleton Crew starts, and then Echo will join in.
I think it makes more sense to start Skeleton Crew at the end of Loki, because Loki's going to be big.
Because you want people to be on Disney Plus and go, hey, now there's this new Star Wars show.
For you is this new Star Wars show, and you'll be like, what? New Star Wars show? I'll check that out. So yeah, I think it makes more sense to overlap with Loki.
Right, because it's going to get you some of that, I'm already here, so.
Yeah.
Like I said, I am looking forward to the tail end of this year. As soon as we get to the halfway point, we're solid.
Yeah, we're kind of in a drought for everything
Secret
right now.
Invasion, Comic-Con, Ahsoka, Loki, Skeleton Crew, Echo, Dune, Godzilla. There's plenty of things coming.
We got some things coming out before then. We got Indiana Jones and the...
Oh yeah, Indiana Jones in the old folks' home.
Yeah.
I kid. I'm actually interested in it because it's being done by James Mangold, for one, who is doing one of the Star Wars movies that's upcoming.
Doing the Jedi origin story. Plus, he does good work. Logan. I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yes, but it has been years, so I want to see how he has progressed.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt or
I would love to see a Star Wars movie done under the same vein as how Logan was handled. But he's got Indiana Jones before that, which I do not think is going to be too similar to Logan.
No. Well, I mean, maybe in a weird sort of way. We're talking about kind of old heroes on their way out, in a manner of speaking. Right?
But Indiana Jones usually has a very specific tone.
It's a fun, upbeat tone. Yeah. Yes, it's not serious like Logan is. Logan is a masterpiece. One of the best comic book movies of all time. Yeah.
I can't believe all my random news took up this much time.
You can thank me in my random rambling. That's why I'm here. I think that's going to be all we got for this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's little tidbits of news. And let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.